Hello Aries, my name is Echo and thank you for joining me for your August 2025 tarot reading. Before we begin, I just want to wish you a happy new moon in Leo. That did happen yesterday. If you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and look at that on my channel here, because if you check for your sign, you will see what area of life this new moon is going to be impacting you most. Be sure to check your sun, moon, and rising sign, because your rising sign will give you the best overall picture on how you will be impacted. And as we go forward, be sure you're setting those intentions. It's not too late. We can set them anytime we like. People just do it during the new moon because that's when the power is greatest to do so. We do also have a Mercury retrograde going on right now. So be sure you're saving any files that you're working on because it can mess with technology. Double check any communications, check your spam box in your email, and look at any of the fine print in any contracts or agreements because there is potential for those to go awry a little bit later on. Anything that you start during Mercury retrograde is something that you're going to be revisiting most likely. So this is a great time to start any practices in health, spiritual building, anything that you would like to become a regular thing for you. So let's go ahead without worrying too much about that Mercury retrograde. Keep that in a positive light and see what we have going on for you, Aries. We'll start off with this Unicorn Oracle deck, and I am bringing back some of the decks I haven't used in a while, as well as adding some new ones today. Right off the bat, you have the card of friendship. I think like two other signs got this card, and you watch me shuffle. What's it say? Friendship, seek out your soul family. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend more time socializing. I love this card, but I'm starting to think I need glasses because that tiny print and the tiny print that pops up on other things does bother me. It looks like at this time, though, Aries, as you step into August, you're going to be seeing a lot of people in your environment that can benefit you as far as August goes. Now, Aries is a very forward-thinking, how do I want to say, actionable kind of sign, okay? You don't like to really sit on the fence and just kind of blah with things. But I feel like in August, you're going to be given the nudge or the opportunity to get out there with friends, and they'll be allies on something that you're already working on, something that you're already going toward. So be sure to embrace that. And remember that your soul family, if you can't find them in the places you typically frequent, the places you go, don't worry, because they will find you. What's meant for you will never pass you by. And I really feel like this is for the people that come into our lives. And I unfortunately think it is the people who are not so friendly that come into our lives, the people who would rather not have met or not have had to deal with. But as much as I hate to say it, they do tend to teach us some things about ourselves or about life in general and about what doesn't resonate with us, because there's always a bigger fish and it might save you from some heartache down the line that might have completely derailed you, but that's for someone. Let's go ahead and continue this reading with our astrological oracle deck. And this has signs of the zodiac as well as some of the astrological figures that we find in the stars. You have the card of Sagittarius. Okay, so you might know a Sagittarius, or you might have something in your chart where there's a very powerful placement that you're being called to use to your advantage. Sagittarius is a lot like you, Aries. They're very actionable individuals. They don't like to sit still, and they don't suffer fools lightly, because when you got to get stuff done, you don't have time to be tripping over people who are trying to trip you up, okay, intentionally. I feel like you are looking for a friend environment because you've been dealing with someone. I don't know why there's a lot of people involved here, and all I have is a horse and a centaur. They're technically neither one is actually a person. But if you're in an environment where you're looking for friends and allies because you've had to deal with situations and people that weren't so favorable, I feel like this is what's giving you that push to sort of find your tribe, look for your soul family, and really be with people that you feel will be more supportive of you. And if you cannot find them, for looking, just know that spirit will bring to us what we're meant to have, and those people will find you. Do not worry. Take heart. Let's go ahead and continue this reading, and I'm starting with the holographic Rider-Waite Tarot, and I do like the holographic cards. I used to collect them back in the 90s with comic book cards, all of those little superheroes. And I just remember looking at them for so long. Like, it's one of my best childhood memories was, going through my cards, going through my collection. And, I spent a lot of time kind of doing my own thing, even though I was one of, 5 siblings. You got to have that space, that time for you. And I enjoyed the quiet. You start off with this Nine of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I hate to say it, Aries, but something is not emotionally serving you at this time. And you're looking to offload it's just too much, okay? The Nine of Cups is all about having more than enough. The individual in this card, in the upright, has filled their 8 cups, and now they have that ninth cup on offer, okay? They have more than they want. As you'll notice with, the little chubby children who are, well fed, you could say here on the card. You have this sort of emotional situation that has been a little bit overbearing. It's not like you're down in the doldrums. Oh gosh, it's not exhaustion. You're just, okay, this is a bit much. And you're just looking to get out of the fields. And it may be because of people who have been in your environment, or it may be that you're just needing some support because on your own, sitting with yourself, you kind of get trapped in your head. You have all these plans that you want to action. You have all these things you want to do, and it kind of irks you that you really can't do them without the support of other people. You realize that you're going to need a team. It's going to need a little bit of support. So that's okay, because you're going to be finding them and you're going to be tripping over them, I'm hearing. Thank you, Spirit. If you take action to go ahead and start whatever it is you want to work on, okay? Let's see what's crossing you, my dear Aries, and see what's coming in August. What's crossing you is this Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a feeling of lack, being kind of down and out. But if you'll notice in this card, he is sitting on a tile floor, which tells me he's been let in. I mean, he may even just be in a waiting area outside of the main cathedral, with the cathedral window here, but he's in a place of finding his own comfort wherever he is, even if he's not in the main sitting, in the main run. So you may have been excluded in a social situation. Someone may have, I feel like this might be at work, this might be a friend's circle, where you've been kind of ostracized and they've kind of made you the common denominator, and not in a positive way. They've decided that they're all kind of going to do their thing over here, and we're not going to worry too much about Aries. So there is a feeling of lack, there is a feeling of down and out. It may even come across as loneliness. If you are feeling like this is you, and there is a little bit of down and out, a little bit of lack, if you are feeling lonely, then you know what? Maybe you just sit with yourself and summon those people in, call those people in, go where you're most likely to meet people who are like you, okay? Because if you're in the places where you frequent now and it's just not working, maybe it's just time to change it up a little bit. But you are feeling some sort of lack here, and you are feeling some sort of situation that needs your attention. You're tired of the emotions and all this stuff, okay? At your base, yep, you have the Star. The woman in the Star goes to the river to dump all the water back and pick it up in her pitcher and swipe it over and over again. And this isn't, just for no reason. It's talking about the transfer of energy. The Star card has the 7 sisters all around. They're called the 7 sisters as far as astrology goes. Yes, they are real stars. They're also called the Pleiades. They're from Greek mythology. They are 7 maidens that go through the heaven, the 7 sisters who were so beautiful that the gods decided to bring them up into the heavens to live with them. And they represent the different elements of what brings you joy in life, what the human existence is, and how it can escalate to be something higher. And the star in the middle, that's you, Aries. That's you with all your hopes and your dreams and going to make things better. So you're coming from a place where you genuinely want to see things better. You want to take action on something that you feel has true value, and you're just not feeling the support that you want. However, this doesn't mean that you have to stop transmuting energies and making changes. If you go to the water and you continue to transmute the energy, you continue to do what you do, your daily life, the magic that you weave, you're going to see your returns, but you've got to have faith and you've got to be open to new friendships in order to call people in to help you if that's what you so desire. Next, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, the Four of Cups is talking about losing your taste for what you have. This individual sitting beside the tree, kind of meh, I'm over it. I'm not interested in these cups I have. He even has his back turned. But with the other card being on offer and a big magical unicorn flying above it, this is Spirit saying, here, I know that you're losing your taste, but this is what I have for you. And if you're not happy with where you're at, and with this card being in reverse, this says you're finding ways to make do and be happy with what you've got. If you're not happy with what you're at, sit with it and contemplate, okay, so I may not have a ton of friends to help me with whatever it is I want to work on. I may want to work on something because my current situation is kind of crap. Contemplate that. Why don't you like where you're at? Okay. It might be that there are certain elements of whatever the situation is that are worth keeping, but there might be other things that you really feel like, okay, yeah, this is where the change needs to happen. And if this is in a circle of friends, in a social situation, then maybe it's time to let some friendships go. Like I said, some people come into our life for a reason, and some people come for a season. They're only there for a little while, okay? What that is going to look like is entirely up to you, Aries, because this is your life, this is your story, and we get to pick that. Crowning you is the Lover's card in reverse. Yeah, you're not really feeling you're getting the support that you want. The Lover's card is about a brotherhood, a bond. It's a Gemini card, so there may be a Gemini in your circle. See what's going on in your Gemini house as far as your chart goes, because if there's something there that's not favoring well, this could be the issue. We do have a Uranus in Gemini going on, and Uranus is the planet of change. So this may mean it's time to make some changes to your social world. But you feel like you're not getting the feedback, the bond that you really seek as far as friendship goes. And it may be because you're looking to take action towards something and they're really not in your corner, or maybe just the day-to-day. They're not there being the friends that friends should be. And they might be acting, in a way that's way less than friendly to begin with, in which case it's like a frenemy. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like that, right? That kind of thing. But if you find that this is the case for you, my dear Aries, don't be afraid to take a step back. And the people who truly do value you, the people who really are your friends, are going to step forward and check on you. And the people who were never there for you to begin with, they're naturally going to fall away. And of course, they'll think the worst of you. They'll blame you because, misery loves company and everybody loves having a villain. You can't write a story worth reading without a villain. And if taking care of yourself and setting your own boundaries makes you the villain, well then, honey, you're a villain. Pop the collar, cackle maniacally, and do whatever you got to do, okay? So the immediate outcome in this reading you have is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is all about maintaining a balance in how you handle the day-to-day. This could be a job situation. This could be money. Maybe someone borrowed money from you that they owe you back and it's just never happening, okay? They're never there. It's always, hey, can you spot me? They'll sit, they'll go to dinner with you, you'll have a meal, and then when it comes time for the check, oh no, I lost my wallet. Hey, can you cover me? Maybe they asked to borrow money once upon a time, and they're just, you're going to see where they're not willing to pay you back. And it may not be money related. It may be an energetic exchange. Like I said, when you take a step back, the friends who truly care about you and truly value you are going to step forward to see if you're okay. They're going to check on you. Maybe not right away. It might take them a minute because they have to realize you're gone. But the people who don't, they're not going to come after you. They're not going to offer anything energetically because they realize, oh, well, I guess I overstepped a boundary. Oh, well. And then in that case, well, they're not the friend, okay? But you're going to see who truly does give back to you, who truly does care about you, and where there is that energetic exchange, that transmutation of energy, okay? Who is not taking too much from you emotionally and leaving you feeling out in the cold. So what energy are you bringing to this reading, my dear Aries? What do we have here? You have the Six of Wands in reverse. A lot of reversals in this. The Six of Wands is all about a victory. Are you the individual on the horse who is riding to victory and championing yourself? Or are you one of the people in the crowd who's cheering for that returning knight who has just come back from a victory? Who is celebrating the laurels? If you look on his head, laurels indicate victory, okay? Who is celebrating the laurels and the achievements of another. In reverse, it says that you really feel like you're always there for everybody else. You're always a cheerleader for everybody else. Why can't someone be there for you? And this is, there's nothing wrong with this. This is how we're supposed to be with our friends. We're supposed to hold them accountable. Because if everyone held their friends accountable and held themselves accountable, there would be a lot more growth. There will be a lot more achievement as far as society goes, because we would be looking to grow always, to capitalize on what we've already learned so we can go forward in a way that teaches more, not only to ourselves, but others. I'm hearing teach a man to fish, okay? If you go and you give someone the answers every time they're hurting, every time they're going through a difficulty, you're just handing them a fish. Here you go. Are you good now? Here you go. Are you good now? And if you're constantly that food source, a person's going to keep coming in to reach in for the barrel. That energetic exchange where it can be draining. If you teach a man to fish and how to, when you're down and out, try doing this, or when I'm down and out, I do this, give advice as a friend, give them guidance. You're teaching them to fish. So whenever they're hurting, they can take care of themselves. And the same goes for cheering people on. If you're always there in everybody's corner and you're always encouraging everybody, but they're not reciprocating, where's your fish? You may be able to go out and get a fish for yourself. That's cool. But if you've got friends, that's kind of the point of friends. You would expect them to be there at least once in a blue moon to help take care of you, right? So don't be afraid to reach in, Aries, and ask for help when you need it. Okay, Aries, let's go ahead and continue with this reading. See what Spirit is bringing in. What does Spirit have for us? Next, you have this card of the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is all about wanting to move on to calmer waters, move on to a situation that is more peaceful. Swords are a very airy energy. They're all about thought and communication. We were talking about that Uranus and Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. So you are looking to move on to more peaceful waters. The individuals in this boat are rowing along out of the choppy stuff to get into something that is more peaceful and more smooth. And the clouds behind them would indicate that they did just overcome some sort of difficulty, some sort of storm. Clouds in the tarot talk about a sort of confusion, mental fog, some kind of trial that really gets in our headspace. And I feel like this might have been you. My dear Aries, this might have been you going through a difficulty where you were kind of second guessing yourself. You were kind of questioning why it has to be so difficult, where friendships shouldn't be difficult. Situations that I want to work towards shouldn't be this hard. So you are going to be moving toward a more peaceful times as we go ahead. And I really feel like this is Spirit telling you it's going to happen. It's going to bring in the allies that you need where you need them. And it's going to be sure that you get the forward movement you're looking for. You're going to get the support that you're after, okay? And I feel like you've been chasing this for a little bit, Aries. Go ahead and look at your past readings I have for July and June if you don't believe me. You've been looking to take action, and you might have had a few setbacks, not of your own accord, but I'm feeling like things that were literally power that was taken from you, things that were taken out of your hands. In your position of hopes and fears, you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this does talk about a feeling of lack as far as what you're looking to create, as far as the existence you're looking to have. It might be a work situation that isn't paying you what you deserve. It doesn't appreciate your hard work. Someone might even be stealing your credit. So, the bosses don't even know it's you. But this might just be on the daily. It might be the even exchange where you're talking about. Maybe energetically, somebody isn't putting into you what you're putting into them. And I really feel like that you're seeing this and you're fearful that it's going to continue. But you're hopeful that if you address this situation, you and your friend can talk about it and they can see where they're doing this, where they can see, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, because you care about this person. And if they see the situation, you're hoping it's so they can correct it. But if you let someone know, hey, our arrangement isn't working, hey, I can't lend you any more money, or hey, I can't really talk about this now. If you set that boundary, no matter how gently you put it, a true friend will recognize it and the behaviors will stop. Somebody who is there just to take from you will continue regardless. They will offer no apology, or maybe they'll offer a sort of, half-baked apology and then continue whatever behavior is harming this friendship. But I feel like you're worried that it's going to continue to be something. You may even be worried about the loss of that friendship. But you can't rely on friends who are only taking from you and who are only leaving you in a space that feels empty, my dear Aries, because that's not friendship. That's leeching, okay? That's a friendship of convenience, okay? I once knew somebody who they had a lot of money and they grew up kind of like with a silver spoon in their mouth, okay? They were hot to trot. But then one day they lost everything. And it's like one by one, all the friends that they had disappeared. So like every conversation that they had after was, oh, I remember when I was doing this. I knew this person, this person, this person, and they were naming names and friends of those friends, and just growing the circle. And all I could think of was, okay, but did they want you really for you? Because where are they now? You're dealing with an illness, you're going through some stuff, and where are they now? Oh, I haven't talked to them in years, since this whole thing happened. And it really like poisoned their whole personality. It made that person bitter to know that they let so many people use them in the past. But then when the money dried up, when the status dried up, they went right back to being like, to me, they weren't a nobody, but like as far as, you know, valuing a person because of the money they made, in that circle, they were seen as a nobody. So those friends kind of disappeared. Let's go ahead and continue this reading. But it looks like you're off to a lot of change here in the month of August as far as social situations go. And you're looking at the energetic exchange on what you put out there and what is given back to you. Just be sure that people aren't taking too much from you, because this position of hope and fear, like I said, does have you worried that exactly that is going to happen. Someone's going to continue to keep taking from you. You may even be worried about the loss of the friendship. But if it is a friendship that isn't giving to you equally, they're not looking after you the way you look after them, or even at all, you really need to be contemplating if they are your friend to begin with, or if they're there as a bit of an opportunist. But what is the long-term outcome of this reading for my Aries? What is the long-term outcome? You have the Six of Cups reverse. Yeah, the Six of Cups is talking about a celebration, a sort of return to innocence, okay? We're celebrating going back to that joyful, that happy time, that sort of childlike wonder, okay? In reverse, long term, this says you're going to go back to doing things in a way that is more serious. You're going to be a little more contemplating about who you let into your inner circle and how much you're going to allow people to take from you, Aries. And there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries, but just know that when you set boundaries for yourself, and someone is all about crossing those boundaries, they're going to be the first people who get upset when you do it, okay? You don't need to blame yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just telling people, this is kind of what I need in my circle right now. This is what I'm looking to create. And I just can't have this other stuff in here because it doesn't really help. I mean, you wouldn't bake a cake, know all of the ingredients that go in it, and then allow someone to come along and throw like a dead fish in there, okay? Obviously, that's not going to help you. So don't let anyone throw any dead fish into your cake. Oh, that sounds awful. I'm going ahead and expand on this reading with the deck, the Terra de la Nuit. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. But let's expand upon this reading and see what blessings do you have for my Aries. What do you have for my Aries in the month of August? You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is about seeing your seeds that are planted bear fruit, okay? So the ballerina in this card does indicate she is a bit of the dark entity as far as ballet goes. She is the Black Swan, okay? And I don't know if you're familiar with that particular ballet. But the Black Swan is converse of what a ballerina is expected to be all about. They are the picture of eloquence and delicate nature, but the Black Swan is dark and beautiful and embraces the power behind what it takes to be a ballerina, because they work hard. They practice so hard, and they're up like super early in the morning, and physically it actually changes the structure of their feet to be on their toes all the time. They have to build the calluses. I mean, they have very strong muscle reaction, and they have excellent poise and posture. Excuse me, put my teeth back in my face. And that doesn't come lightly. That comes from strict discipline and a lot of practice and a lot of putting forward what you're all about. Taking that momentum, taking that energy and that passion and focusing it very hard into what you're doing, into a very disciplined practice. But your blessing is going to be when you put your foot down, you're going to start seeing the returns. When you start setting those boundaries, you are going to see the grace, the elegance, and the sort of poise and posture, one could say, that comes to your relationships or comes to whatever it is you're trying to create. But you have to be dedicated. You have to be disciplined in order to get the benefits that you're looking for. No pain, no gain is what I'm hearing. You're going to have to knuckle down and set those boundaries if you want those blessings, because you are going to see returns on what you're putting out there, but you've got to put the energy out there to get the rewards, okay? To have those friends, to have that friendship nature that you're truly looking, that balance, strike a new balance. What does my Aries maybe not see coming in the month of August? And this could be anything that's left field. This could be challenges. This could be things that perhaps you haven't considered. What do we not see coming in the month of August for my dear Aries? you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving knight and is all about going forward and making progress in a way that is material, that does return and does show some sort of benefit to the effort that they're putting in on that ride. In reverse, it says you may not see how do I want to put this? I don't feel like this is you. You may not see how someone's efforts are benefiting you right off the bat, okay? And it might actually be called to your attention when you set boundaries. Now, I want to put this out here, okay? If you put your boundaries down with somebody and they start to get aggressive, I did this for you, I did that for you, how could you? They're being combative. This is not about telling you what a good friend they are. This is about patting themselves on the back and giving themselves all the accolades and making you the enemy. That's not a friend at all. I'm talking about an individual that says, oh, well, I didn't mean to, make you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. That was never my intention. I just couldn't, give you the money back that I owed you, but here, let me start doing this. And, there's going to be some sort of arrangement. I can't really do the things you want to do or be in the space you want to be in. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of level conversation that comes from this. But what you don't see coming is the people that will fall away because they have that mean and nasty user kind of energy, or a situation that you're in will fall away because it wasn't for you anymore. And that's what you don't see coming. Something may end unexpectedly for you, Aries, because you put your foot down, you set your boundaries, and you went towards what really matters to you. And that's okay. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, it may make you feel a little bit betrayed. You might even feel a little bit foolish, and that's fine. This is growth. This is progress. This is actually just weight falling off of you so you can have that Six of Swords energy and move on to calmer waters, okay? So just honor that emotion. Honor that decision that you made that just no longer fits you, and know that it's a sign of true growth. Now you're growing into something else and into a new space, okay? What advice do you have for my Aries going forward? What advice do we have in the month of August? You have the Emperor. You need to stand in your power. The Emperor is the person who stands on top of everything, ready to take action, ready to lead, ready to, I'm hearing lead the charge, and be responsible for whatever the outcome's going to be. The advice that you're being given is stand your ground, lead the charge. Do not be afraid to enact power where it's needed, even if this means you have to tell someone like it is, even if this means you have to be, I'm hearing blunt force trauma, even if you have to be the person that says enough, I can't do this. You're being advised at this time to step forward and embrace your own power, to make room for the people and the situations that truly do resonate with you, Aries. So this is a beautiful reading for you. It looks like August is going to be one where you push on, you make your reality more palpable, and you make sure August brings that energy that you're looking for, brings that oomph. If people are your tribe, they're going to find you. And just remember, some people in our life are here for a reason, and some people are here just for a season, just for a little bit, okay? I heard that from another tarot reader, and I absolutely love it, and it resonates so deeply. It is absolutely so true, especially in a time when we are all dealing with a lot of social situations. My name's Echo. Thank you so much for joining me, Aries. I'm wishing you a very blessed August with lots of growth and lots of smiles. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.